Hello, everybody. It is me, Demetra K. I hope you're having a great day. I'm sitting here with Donovan, the recovering Democrat Saadiq, also known as the Black Yule Brenner. Sorry for our tardy start, but this is our third show today. So thank you for bearing with us. But I should say that the purpose of the Demetra K show is to promote Black love, knowledge, and understanding of all things that go on in the Black community to make us an even better people, with the emphasis on even, because we're great people, but we can always try to do better. Today, we're going to be talking about Jesse Jackson Jr. slamming Obama, Biden, and Clinton for pretending to know his father while they were giving their speeches at Jesse Jackson Sr.'s homegoing service. One of many, I might add. But nevertheless, before I give it to Donovan, I'd like to say hello and welcome to YouTube and Facebook. You are the other side of the conversation. Also, thank you to my wonderful moderators for all that you do. In the meantime, if you are in Columbus, Ohio, anywhere near, you just want to drive on out, come out and see us. Brother Phil and I will be representing the African Diaspora News Channel at the Ohio Black Expo for the second year in Columbus, Ohio, to be exact. So if you want to come out, get your tickets at ohioblackexpo.com, ohioblackexpo.com. A time will be had, I promise you that. If you like October London, come on out. If you like Moni Love, come on out. If you like Demetra K, come on out. If you like Brother Phil, come on out. If you like to eat, you're greedy, you like good music, come on out. There's something for everybody. So please and thank you. OhioBlackExpo.com. Then again, we will be in Toronto, Canada, on July 25th for the AD&C Narrative Power Summit, where we're going to have a great conversation with everybody that comes out. It is going to be a great event. Please do not miss it. It will be my first time in Canada. So, I'm looking forward to see what's going on over there, what the good eats and treats are, and all that. So I'd love to make those great memories with you all. So please get your tickets at africandiasporanews.org/Canada, africandiasporanews.org/Canada. Donovan?
Hey, welcome back, you guys. Great to have you guys in the chat and on the show. You guys do help us make the show go farther. Hey, do us a favor. If you guys want to continue to have these great conversations, you can donate down from that thing down there. Man, my mind is tired. I am tired. Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, money orders, cash, however you guys want to do it. Demetra K has been up very, very early in the morning. If you guys would like to buy her a coffee, please do so. It doesn't cost a lot of money. You guys can always do it. Always don't forget to download the African Diaspora News Channel app. You can get it on Google Play, Apple Store, where again, you will get notifications and original content from people like Demetra K, Phil Scott, the Emancipation Channel, Wongale, Vicki Dillard, and a whole host of other contributors. If you don't want to get on the app, which everybody has a smartphone, I don't see why you wouldn't. You might be stuck in traffic and need to, entertain yourself or whatever. You can always go straight to YouTube and sign up directly there. And again, you will be notified of what is going on all around in the diaspora and when the African Diaspora News crew is going to be doing events. So that's a good way to keep up with that. And knowledge is power. And this is a great gift. Graduation is coming up. And just like in our elections, our young people, myself included, and Demetra when she was young, so many years ago, many years ago, we're not as plugged into politics. But the thing is, you have to be your own advocate. And again, baby boomers have been in power for over 40 years now, and that is unheard of. And you can see why one of the reasons why the country is the way it is. They are not grooming the next generation, and it's just a bad thing. So if we could break that cycle and don't do what the baby boomers did to their children, we teach our children what politics is about, how to get something intangibles. You don't just vote just for the fact of voting. Let's break that cycle. And that's one way you can do it, by giving them the African Diaspora News Channel app, so they could see what's really going on in our Black politic, not just here, but around the world. So let's get into it.
Absolutely. Johnny Youngblood, thank you so much for becoming a YouTube member. Love and appreciate you for that. Who else we got here so far? 23 Archer, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Sister Shirley, what's going on? Sister Sunlight, Ramadan Mubarak. L, what's going on with you? D-Mac, hope you're having a great day. JJ in the building. Mike, nice. How are you, Rams? What's going on, brother? Buck Horse, how's it going in DC? Craig, I hope you're having a great day. Who else? Who else? Who else? Miss Tiffany, how are you? Take X, how you doing? It says newsflash, they didn't know Jesse Jackson personally, only professionally cry me a river. Quan, how are you doing? Hope that you're having an awesome day. Jersey Rick in the building. Sister Diane, what's going on? John Hill, Covenant Combo with Shay, y'all, what's going on? And Wesley, I just want to get it all over with at the, right now. Brother Reggie, how are you? Been too busy to hang out with us? What you don't know, nobody. What's going on? Beverly White, how you doing? Oh, Al, how are you doing today? Walt, what's going on with you? Okay, so let's get into it. I'm gonna read your comments. So anyway, as you guys may or may not know, the late great Jesse Jackson passed away February 17th at the age of, I think he was 83, 84, something like that. But anyway, he passed away due to Parkinson's, complications of Parkinson's anyway. Of course, I don't need to get into all of who Jesse Jackson was. He was a great civil rights leader, Rainbow Coalition founder, just a whole host of things, right? And so he had, I think, 3 funeral services, and the last one was held in South Carolina, Greensville, or something like that, his hometown, where a whole host of dignitaries, presidents, and just you name it, showed up. The service was about 5 hours long. Okay, 5 hours long. I only watched bits and pieces of it because I was not finna. I ain't gonna listen. I ain't never been to no 5-hour funeral, and I don't plan to. Listen, when I go, just roll me off of a cliff somewhere and say arrivederci. Okay. So anyway, nevertheless, Jesse Jackson Jr. was not happy about some of the things that went on. Now, before the funeral started, like a week or so before, he went on to say, "Do not bring your politics out of respect to Reverend Jesse Jackson and the life that he lived to these ongoing services. Come respectful and come to say thank you. But these ongoing services are welcome to all, Democrat, Republican, liberal, and conservative, right wing, left wing, because his life is broad enough to cover the full spectrum of what it means to be an American." Okay, now he said that the day after his father died. Okay, so he put it out there. If you come, don't come with the politics. Just bring your, okay? But anyway, that didn't necessarily happen. But I'm going to show you a snippet, just a snippet of the 3 presidents in question, Biden, Obama, and Clinton. This is just some of what they said, because I think Obama spoke like 20-something minutes or something. I don't know, but here you go.
Yeah, Kamala was there as well, and I believe Al Sharpton. A few other people.
There was a lot of people there. A lot of people. Okay, so here we go.
President Bill Clinton. It was because of that path that he had laid, because of his courage, his audacity, that 2 decades later, a young black senator from Chicago's South Side would even be taken seriously as a candidate for the presidential nomination.
The last time he and I had a chance to visit in person, he was already ailing. It was getting difficult for him to stand, difficult for him to speak. Figured we'd just have a low-key visit. Maybe he'd need some rest. And he starts coming up with this project and this initiative and issues I needed to look into.
He uses gifts to influence generations of Americans, and countless elected officials, including presidents, as you see here today.
We did not always agree, but I'll tell you one thing. He made me a better president when I got in office. Because he was always pushing on things. And he knew that change came from the outside in.
Okay, so those are just a snippet, because they all kind of, did their fair share of speaking. But the point of contention where it came to politics is Obama reportedly, and he did, take aim at President Donald Trump during a speech, saying every day we wake up to some new assault on our democratic institutions. And then people were saying, 3 more years or run again or something like that. And he was like, no, I believe in the Constitution, right? That's what Obama said. And then Clinton called Jackson a friend and recalled his conversation with the Reverend during his impeachment. And then Biden told mourners at Reverend Jesse Jackson's memorial service Friday that he is a hell of a lot smarter than most of you, and pointed remark that stood out during the tribute to the late civil rights leader. Biden made the comment while recounting how he was mocked as a child for his stuttering and how speech impediments are often mistaken for a lack of intelligence. Okay, so that's just some of the things. So yes, and then Kamala, when she was up there, I think she said something like, I told you so, or something like that. So they brought politics.
She said she predicted all of this that's happening.
Yeah. So they brought politics into it. Now, I think it was yesterday or so, Jesse Jackson Jr. said this.
Listened for several hours of 3 United States presidents who do not know Jesse Jackson. He maintained a tense relationship with the political order, not because the presidents were white or black, but the demands of our message demanded not Democratic or Republican solutions, but demanded a consistent, prophetic voice that at no point in time ever sold us out as a people.
Okay, so basically, that was his rebuke of, people in a sense bringing politics into it. He said 3 presidents that did not know his dad. And if you listen to just a snippet of the speeches, they were talking like they did, right? Obama said that he sat with them and things like that. Now, I don't know, it's a difference. And people have reached out to Jesse Jackson just to kind of see what is this about. Doesn't sound like he's responded yet, but so are you saying that they didn't know your dad, or they never met your dad? Because it sounds like they have, at some point in time. But so I was curious because I saw a lot of people keep talking about this. And so I was like, okay, what's really going on here? Now, just for a little context, it says in July of 2008, former Representative Jesse Jackson Jr. strongly criticized his father, Reverend Jesse Jackson Sr., for reckless and divisive comments caught on a hot mic regarding then presidential candidate Barack Obama. Jesse Jackson Jr., who was co-chair of Obama's presidential campaign at the time, publicly condemned his father's remarks. So I'm like, wait a minute. So Jesse Jackson Jr. was a co-chair of Obama's campaign in 2008. So I don't know. I don't know what's going on here. Okay. Now, maybe Obama knew Junior, didn't know Senior. It's just something's kind of weird here. Also, it says Jackson Jr. stated he was deeply outraged and disappointed by the comments. He labeled his father's statement as reckless and divisive and demeaning to the presumptive Democratic nominee. Now, while acknowledging his love for his father, Jesse Jackson Jr. said, I thoroughly reject and repudiate his ugly rhetoric. Now, he added that the comments contradicted his father's inspiring, courageous career. Okay, so we have some correlation there. Obama and Jesse Jackson Jr., they know each other, right? Because he worked as his co-chair for his Democratic campaign in 2008. Now, it should be also said that former Illinois Congressman Jesse Jackson Jr. served 17 months in federal prison, released in March of 2015 after being sentenced to 30 months in 2013 for conspiring to defraud his re-election campaigns. He admitted to using $750,000 in campaign funds for personal items, including a $43,000 Rolex, furs, and celebrity memorabilia. And one of those things, I think, was Michael Jackson's glove and hat. Him and his wife were both on the hook. I think his wife served sometime. I think he went first, she went first. They didn't go at the same time because they had children and things like that. And yes, he was convicted under the Obama administration as it was a federal offense. So it's like, okay, I don't know. Me personally, I'm just trying to figure out, why would Jesse Jackson Jr., nobody really knows to this point, but why would he get up there and do that? Why would he, rebuke Obama, Biden, and Clinton and say they didn't know his dad? Now, did politics come into it? Yeah. Al Sharpton brought politics into it too. I listened to his whole speech. Now, it should be said that I think that Al Sharpton does have a closer relationship with Jesse Jackson Jr. and the family, because he even said he and Jesse Jackson Jr. kind of grew up in a sense under his dad, and that they were proteges and things like that. But I don't know, y'all. I'm a little bit baffled as to why Jesse Jackson Jr. would do that. But then as I got to thinking a little bit more about it, I said, well, it might have something to do with Jesse Jackson Sr. being friends with Trump. Because you notice that Jesse Jackson Jr. kept saying this is not about Democrats, it's not about Republicans. Now, Jesse Jackson Jr. is trying to go back to politics. He's trying to get his old seat back, right? Because again, he went to jail and all of that. So he's trying to rerun for his seat. So Jesse Jackson Sr. knew Trump because Trump allowed him to use his Trump Towers and things like that for his presidential campaign headquarters, donated a lot of money here and there, and they were friends. There's copious amount of pictures of them together, along with Al Sharpton. So it's like, I don't know. I'm kind of wondering, Jesse Jackson Jr., might you be needing some influence from Trump? Like, why would you repudiate those former presidents? Like, what's going on here? Like, I'm confused. So maybe y'all can help me. Donovan?
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff there. Again, there's a lot of former Democrats that are jumping ship, going to other parties or running independent. And Tiffany Henyard, gangbusters, just saying it like it is. There's a whole bunch of people that are, sounds like to me, they're recovering Democrats, and they're just like, hey, we're done with all this. But I could see why he was upset, because it goes to show you the respect the Democratic Party has for Black people. He specifically told you, do not make it about politics. And yet every one of them sat up there and made it about them and politics. And Kamala, which I thought was very comical, talking about, I told y'all, I saw what was going to happen. Well, damn, if you saw what was going to happen, how come you couldn't see that you were going to lose the election? It makes sense to me. I mean, it just doesn't make sense. You saw all of this with Trump, but you couldn't see yourself losing the election. Doesn't make sense. But Jesse being a strong Democrat, which he was, and the funny thing is, the way I look at it as a political pundit, somebody who's been in politics for a very long time, how they did Jesse and sidelined him, the Democratic Party basically did that. Yeah, they supported him initially in certain things, but when he really started advocating and pushing for Black people, especially in his presidential run, they sidelined him. Every one of those presidents up there that sat up there acting like they know this man were the very people, and Chuck Schumer included. If you go back and look at the history of Chuck Schumer, Jesse advocated for this bill. I forgot what bill it was, but it was specific to Black people or to people in general. And Chuck Schumer shut it down. And Sunlight, you probably know what I'm talking about because it was on Sabby Sab's channel. She talked about it as well. And every one of those people that sat up there are the very people that sidelined Jesse Jackson in the 90s. Bill Clinton, all of these people made him irrelevant and shut his operation basically down to where it was irrelevant. But isn't that funny how your enemies come back to bury you and make sure you're gone? So I don't really have a lot to say in regards to that. I wasn't really a Jesse Jackson fan, but I believe I'm a fair person. They say it was Jesse Jackson who coined the term African American, which I never understood what that was about growing up. And but in taking nothing away from him, he did what he thought was best at the time, given the era that he grew up in. So I will give the man his flowers. He was a trailblazer. If there wasn't a Jesse Jackson, there would not have been a Barack Obama. So I'll leave it right there.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, Jesse Jackson Jr. was not with the foolishness. And, he did say before a day after his dad died. You know, don't come to the funeral with all of this, that, and the other. And people did for whatever reason. To me, it just seems like there's something else going on. Because again, he used to work with Obama. He was his co-campaign chair, you know, so there's some commonality. I think they're friendly enough, right? Of course, Chicago politics, they all kind of know each other and things like that. So
real quick, I don't mean to cut you off. Did you also notice Michelle wasn't there either? Yeah, I'm just kind of noticed that.
Yeah, and hey, Black Butterflies, how you doing? Yes, I noticed that Michelle wasn't there. Doug, I don't know. My thing is, so what if Michelle wasn't there? So what? She's already said, I'm not going to no more of this stuff. Now, who knows? Because see, I think the problem with the internet and optics and television and stuff is we think that the internet and TV or whatever it is tells the whole story. Maybe he's died. He died in February 17th. So maybe she had already paid her respect. Maybe she already sat down with, you know, Mrs. Jackson or, you know, so we don't know all that's going on. So I'm kind of not wanting to beat up on Michelle because we don't know why she's there, but wasn't there. But she did say, I told my husband, I'm good. I'm going to all this other stuff. I can't pretend. So I don't know what Jesse Jackson's funeral is about. Nobody knows, right? But yes, there's a lot of speculation. I saw some people say, oh, she don't support her husband. It's like, are you married to her? How you know what she does? You know what I mean? So I don't know. I'm just saying, I don't know why Michelle.
Well, the reason I bring that up is because when you're a former president and all this other, there's certain protocols you're supposed to do. And like I said, I understand she doesn't have to adhere to the protocols, but it does look strange that all the other ones are there and then she's missing. But, you know, I guess it is her right. She doesn't want to do that, but there are certain protocols. You know, you signed up for it. You didn't have a problem for it when he was in the office. Now you have a problem with it. But okay.
Yeah, I mean, but who cares? That's her husband. That's his wife. They obviously don't have a problem, you know, with her not going. Like y'all, we can't speak for Barack and we can't speak for Michelle. You know what I mean? And I'm not even speaking as fans of them per se. I don't know them personally, but I don't know why people try to speak for them. Because to me, it kind of borderlines into gossip. Where Michelle at? She in her skin. When she jump out, you can jump in. That's what the old people used to say. Hey, Sanchez said Jesse still riding hard for the Democratic Party, even in his feeble state. So he signed his life over to the Democrat code, dead or alive. That's his family's problem. Jesse been compromised. See, I like when people are thinking because I can't give it all away. I can't give the game all away. But this is what people aren't seeing. This is why I said my wheels are turning about Jesse Jackson Jr. We saw your daddy get wheeled up there at the Democratic National Convention where Kamala was running. He was in his wheelchair. It was Al Sharpton, and I forget whoever else was up there with him. But all three of them were up there, and he was there in like playing. We knew that he ran as a Democrat twice, so you're right. So my thing is, what's in it for Jesse Jackson Jr.? See, we got to start thinking. Stop going for the banana in the tailpipe and the memes and all this fake outrage. Like, really, why is Jesse Jackson Jr. veering off from the message and not even just the message, but we saw him. That was 2024. Why is Jesse Jackson Jr. veering off from the talking points and the ideology that his daddy had? That's the question we need to answer. But thank you, Sanchez. Somebody thinking. Anyway, I had a nap, y'all, so I got a little bit of energy. Heather, and you say they were all out of line at that funeral. If the son had already laid the foundation for what kind of funeral he wanted for his dad, then why not abide? I agree. You should follow your wisdom, but I'm going to tell you, I ain't been to not Nan funeral. Not Nan funeral. Maybe my daddy's was the closest one as janaza, okay? That where people listen. Where people followed the rules. You know, get 2 minutes. Everybody get 2 minutes. People get up there. Oh, I want to take it back to 1969 when we're first met. It's like you will not go back to 1969 because you ain't going to be done in 2 minutes going all the way back to 9. So I'm just saying, you know, but yeah, they should have followed the wishes of the family. And they were only supposed to speak 4 minutes for what I understand. But they spoke minutes. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I hear what you're saying. Okay, let's see. Quan says, oh, no, I'll take back my comment above. You, Jesse Jackson Jr., you a conflicted bootlicking fool. You crazy. Diane You say they didn't know him as a person. Okay, so yeah, I mean, like, you know, what is it, right? M. Jones says Jesse then turned against Trump for the demon rats. Yeah, in a sense, right? And Trump, well, we know that Trump was a lifelong Democrat as well, up until about 2012-ish, give or take, when he came out with the birtherism stuff against Obama, right? Derek, and good evening to you as well. Brother Reddy says, why can't I delete my own comments anymore? I know you got a wrench. You should be. You know what it is on my end, they don't delete. But I guess maybe on YouTube, I don't see you guys' comments from YouTube or Facebook. I only see it from my vantage point, which is StreamYard. So on my end, they probably don't delete. So I apologize if I read something you didn't want to be read. Okay. Hey, Brother Samuel, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Yes, mathematical thinkers. You know what? I thank you for enlightening me on that, because I always say I'm bad at math, but you're like, no, you're really good in math. It's your mathematics of the mind, you know, type thing. But thank you. Company combo with Shay. He says, I heard Junior asked the Obamas not to come and they showed up anyway. But then he made a statement to us, said all are welcome. So did he not? So what I'm saying is, because this is a statement he said that all are welcome. So did we know for a fact he told the Obamas not to come? And Barack was like, I'm showing up any, like, well, how did it really happen like that? You know, maybe Junior will come out and clarify the dragging. JJ says, I'm surprised Kamala didn't bring Cardi B, you stupid, along to the funeral. Wow.
Yeah, and let me add this. I could also see why the Democratic Party took over the funeral like that, and they were trying to score political points, because remember, this funeral was broadcast on C-SPAN, Fox News, and all these little outlets, especially to some outlets around the world. So politically speaking, you turned it into a mini Democratic rally to get this message out about Trump and how you know, oh, he's bad and this, that, and this is how they're going to raise the base. So, you know, I don't think they wouldn't have done it. You see what I'm saying? It's a platform that was put out there. They were going to use that platform if they liked it or not.
But let's do a correlation, shall we? And I'm just playing devil's advocate. I haven't played it in a while. Yeah, listen, my hair, y'all might have saw the videos earlier, was a little bit bigger. I fell asleep on my head, okay? So I had to put it together real quick. That's how tired I was. But anyway, let's just play devil's advocate for a little bit. Or is that a bull? So you're at a church, a black church. The black church is usually comprised of what? Democrats. Okay, usually comprised of Democrats. Jesse was a Democrat through and through. He ran to be a Democrat twice, 84 and 88. Okay, didn't lose, but at the time he got the most votes as for a black candidate in history at the time before Obama. Okay, you invite a bunch of what? Democrats. I don't know if there were any Republicans there. That might have been, right? J.B. Pritzker, the governor of Illinois, you did invite a bunch of Democrats. And then, you know, you say your relationship with them, right? They're all Democrats, politicians. That's probably how they all got to meet. I don't know. So I'm just saying, if we follow the breadcrumbs, it's not unusual that they would get up there and talk about politics in the state of the country. I'm not saying it's right, but I'm saying if we're really thinking, instead of just being mad and following talking points, it's not that hard to follow. I don't know. Maybe it's me. Maybe it's Maybelline. I don't know. Brother Reggie says, can't even respect family's wishes. Shameful. Yeah, that's true. You know, they should have respected his wishes, but I guess, and then for whatever reason, it's like, what you gonna do? Okay. So let's see. And like I said, yeah, Al Sharpton, he really went in. But again, he knows them. Buckhorn says, the hell if I know Michelle. Yeah, Michelle's probably, maybe she saw the writing on the wall. It's going to be a bunch of foolishness, so I'm going to stay home, right? So Novi, how you doing? Says, peace and love, Demetri. Donovan and Mons back at you. Bama Breeze, what's going on? Says, y'all need to listen to the late Dick Gregory talk about Jesse Jackson. Yes, indeed. Let's see. Uncle G says, nobody from King family was there. Am I wrong? Well, some of them, believe it or not, they are Team Trump. Not Bernice, but the other one.
Yeah, the niece.
Yeah. So yeah, she's Team Trump. Well, she was anyway. Alex says, yes, Isaiah Thomas, his speech. They did do a speech, and even Obama was like, Isaiah did a long speech, so I'm gonna do one too. That was kind of like a running joke, I guess. So yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys saw the whole thing. The president or the former president of Colombia, they had to cut his mic because he said that they should distance themselves from Israel. So something of that nature. They went up there and tried to cut his mic. They tried to take the mic right from him.
This at the funeral?
He's at the funeral. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So there you have it. Hey, Bobby said Obama is a player, well, like a basketball player. Like what kind of player? If you don't mind me asking. Sanchez says Michelle had a problem when she was in office with all the political satire. She don't want no parts of it. That's what she said. She was like, she says she didn't want her husband to do it, but he did it. So she is there. So she was like, yeah, I'm not in that realm anymore. I'm not in that space and time. He wants to go. I love you for it, but I'm not going.
But usually with dignitaries, if the president himself can't make it, he usually sends a dignitary or his wife to represent him, somebody to represent him. I think it's kind of strange that Donald Trump, who supported Jesse Jackson for president and gave him a donation, did the headquarter thing and all that other stuff, didn't send anybody that we know of to this funeral.
You said Trump?
Usually when a dignitary passes away, they'll send somebody to represent them, be it the wife, be it the Secretary of State. Somebody's going to be there.
But the question is, why wasn't he? Was he not invited? Like, what's going on? So, I mean, we don't know. We're not in the inner workings of the funeral planning dynamics or whatever of Jesse Jackson. We'll never know, right? A lot of it's just Monday morning quarterback aside, lining, speculation, really, right? La la, he said Jesse Jackson mad he had to go to jail for doing what they all do. Yeah, and that could be it too. Maybe he thought him and Obama was homies, and how you were supposed to block for me, right? I wasn't supposed to go to jail, but it's like he wasn't supposed to steal $750,000 either. And Rod Blagojevich, he also went to jail too, for trying to sell Obama's old seat or whatever it was.
Yeah, influencing old seat. But didn't Jesse's wife also go to jail? They had to split the term.
Yeah. So, but my thing is, I mean, I don't know. Like, I get it, and then maybe he felt like, hey, Trump is, letting the homies out. He let out the Kwame Kilpatrick, who was doing 27 years. Trump pardoned him. He pardoned Blagojevich, and a whole host of other people. So maybe he felt like, damn, Obama, I thought we was better than that, But I don't know. The question is, would you pardon a homie if they caught out in the open doing some chicanery? Like, what do you do?
Well, maybe that Michael Jackson glove and jacket was that important that, people are upset. Maybe they wanted it. I don't know.
I mean, I'm just saying that I have questions, What? Lala says Jesse Jr., a punk, he should have cut the mics. Yeah, I mean, he could have, but then, it's probably like, then we're going to have a whole host of other, foolishness. We cutting off presidents' mics and stuff.
Well, what I think about it is, if he would have done that, you got to kind of be strategic. That would have probably set off a war within the Democratic Party. I mean, it's bad enough that they're bleeding voters, but, to slight, these former presidents and things, I think that would have been kind of a hard thing to do.
Yeah. All right. How you doing? Walaikum salam. You say, for the Dems to be on the same page and pushing political agendas during the funeral service, I'm convinced that these were orders that were handed down from the top. Yeah, I mean, what's going on here? All of them did it. All of the politicians that got up there did it. So I'm with you. But see, when you think you're a rarity, because I saw the hoopla about him, like people are mad, but why is Jesse Jackson Jr. really mad? Okay. Because he's making the line of demarcation between, well, he's not making the line between a demarcation. He's saying, my father was for he was a Democrat, Republican, liberal, conservative, right? So he's not trying to make a line of demarcation, but his father did. His father didn't show up at Trump's, RNC, events. He didn't show up there. So there was a line of demarcation. So, but why is Jesse Jackson Jr. trying to erase it? Like, what's really going on here? I have questions. So, yeah, I agree with you. Bernita, how you doing? Says, why wasn't Louis Farrakhan at a funeral? Well, I mean, we don't know, right? The Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan is up there in age. We don't know. He don't tell us everything, right? But we know that he was very good friends with Jesse Jackson. In fact, he called him his brother, okay? And things like that. So we don't know why. I mean, that's why I say too, we kind of, not you, but I'm saying in general, we got to get out of habit for speaking for people, because just because we don't see something, that doesn't mean that it isn't. You know what I mean? It doesn't mean that, like, if you don't see Michelle, that don't mean that she hates her husband or whatever. We don't know why she didn't go. Maybe she's not feeling well.
That's right, ladies. So when your husband comes in late at night, doesn't mean he was at the club hanging with his boys or with some other woman. Wasn't me.
Donisha, how you doing? It says Mark Morrell on it. In on it too. I think it's in hiding in the background. So I didn't see all of the funeral. So was he there? He is the president of the Urban League. So Mark Morrell was there. Did do a speech. I'd imagine he did, right? Bobby says Jesse Jackson was stupid with the Democrats party before he died. Yeah, he was up there. I mean, let's keep it a buck, Brother Reggie says, I almost had to snatch my mic out of my aunt's hand at my father's funeral, trying to call folks to join to join the church, and we weren't even at a church. See what I'm saying? Somebody gonna get up there and deviate, okay? Like I said, at my father's janaza, if you ever been to a janaza, it's straightforward. And you ain't know everybody getting up here talking, falling out, and all this other stuff. I remember way back when, if they just, do a couple of, talking points. They read the obituary, and you do the peppermint ceremony, and then they do all that they gonna do, pray over and then goodbye. And then they put you in the ground, no casket, no nothing, sheet, and you straight to the dirt. That's it. Okay, you ain't getting up there for to be bloviating. If you was gonna bloviate, should have did it while he was here.
Right. The funny thing is, especially at like Baptist and Methodist churches, you go there and the church moms always go, I want to give thanks to the pastor, my cousin, brother. They give thanks to everybody else before they get to the meat and potatoes. You just like, get to the point.
But like, get in the casket and I'll talk about you. Okay, what you talking about your mama? You think get in the casket, then I'll talk. Hey, Avenged Ancestors, where did you go yesterday? Hopefully you saw me. I don't see your super chats. You're saying you do super chats. I don't see them. If you're doing them, so I don't know if it's a glitch on my end. Donovan, he said he doesn't see them either. I don't think anybody else sees them, so I apologize for that. I really do. But if you're donating and I don't see it, thank you. But I don't see it. But I see you here, so I'm glad that you're here. Let's see, Albie, chill in the building. How you doing, Sister Shirley? Say I agree with Donovan. They're trying to gain brownie points. I mean, they might be. It's a funky time going on here in the United States. Jesse Jackson's funeral is probably one of the largest platforms. All the people are watching, so I sneak something in. Trump is whatever it is. So I don't know. They were disobedient for sure. They should have followed the instructions. They didn't. Whatever. Elijah Torres, how you doing? Says, F phone, F up. What's going on? Frank says, bro, Trump doing a horrible job. They right, but they just complain instead of new policies. There you go. Joe, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. It says, thanks you guys. I am recovering. So you're the recovering Democrat too. Look at that. You're inspiring a movement. Original Copper American. Son, how you doing? Says, no, they were warned you don't talk about Trump in politics. I mean, I agree. I'm not making excuses. I'm just a little bit of a thinker. I like to think about things like, well, what is this really all about? Maddie, you say, all these Democrats had to come speak to the plantation voters. Yeah, I mean, and they was all hooping and hollering all up in the church. I mean, in a sense, they kind of started with Obama. They was like 3 more years or something like that. They were basically saying run again. And that's kind of where he was like, no, I believe in the Constitution. And then from that point, Ricardo, he says, oops, excuse me, got it right this time. Your hair is all right, sister. Oh, well, thank you. Listen, it's gonna do. I just let the ancestors tell me what to do with my hair from day to day. Honestly, I do. And this is what Donovan had a problem with my scarf yesterday. He was like, Miss Seeley, you gonna go on there looking like that? So yeah, nah, for real. I just whatever. Jesse, how you doing? Says her name is Demetra, not dementia. Some days it is dementia because I'd be like, what's my name? Who are you? What's really going on? Trust me, I get it. It's rare that people even call me by my right name, but that's okay. Al says the funeral was in Chicago. Okay, it was some damn well. I thought it was in South Carolina, but I could have been wrong. Anyway, Dron, he says, I see a few platforms covering this. Some took the opportunity to talk derogatory toward him. Yeah, I don't know. For me, I just try to be grown. You know what I mean? I don't like to really get too far into the mud, name calling and stuff. Why? You know, I know some people having the issue with people wanting to be respectful to Jesse Jackson. I just think that you should, you know. I didn't agree with a lot of things that he did, but I'm not going to disrespect the man because at the end of the day, he did things a lot of people ain't doing. See, the internet makes it easy for people to be comfortable and talking about people all day long, sitting in the confines of their home, sitting up behind their oodles and noodles or whatever it is, and sometimes from their mama's basement, talking about what other people, what they need to be doing. So I'm just not one to be doing all that. You know what I mean? I see it this time of the ancestor. I see it pop up. I'm gonna get down to it. I see it this time. So maybe the issue was fixed. Okay. Let me skip down. Let's see who else. Jen. He says, I thought Demetrius' name was Tia, as started by her nephew. It's Tia, it's D, depending on if you like me or not. It could be some other stuff. But D, most people call me D, to be honest with you. Demetria D. My nephews and my nieces call me Tia. It just depends. I got great nieces and nephews. They call me Dee Dee, or you know, I respond to it all. Honestly, I got a couple of titles. Albie Chill says, "Slow Bite was
one is not grandma."
God damn.
Yes.
Okay, I need the title of mother-in-law first. Mama-in-law. Then I can be called. Ain't nobody gonna call me no grandma. I was like my mom. Don't call me granny. Okay, she was all right with grandma, but do not call me granny because my mom was like, I ain't there yet. Yeah, my grandchildren call me Grandy. Grandy is fine. I think yes, you know, something like that. I was just said slow Biden was there just to slobbering and mumbling. Y'all better stop. Y'all know that man has got some issues, and I know he's got cancer and stuff. Sister Cheryl says, I would have definitely had them escorted out. Damn, y'all tough crowd. You stupid Al. Me, I just read your comment. Al says he's being petty and he's mad because his father passed away. I don't know. I think he's got some other agendas. I really do. Brother Reggie says Michelle was on double date with Tracy Ellis Ross. You better stop. And some YNs. You better quit. Tracy loved the YNs. Yes, she says she this is what she says. She like them. She like them young. D-Max says Donovan backdoor slipping in. What? Heather says Jackson wouldn't have had the courage to invite Farrakhan in the same building as cowardly Dems who don't want to be seen near Farrakhan. Child by. Yeah, I mean that could be it too. I don't know why he wasn't there. You know, and we know, and you know, Farrakhan is in Chicago as well, so we know that they're not strangers, right? And the Honorable Mr. Louis Farrakhan and Nation of Islam, they were helping Jesse Jackson with his campaigns, you know, until Jesse Jackson said something that was not pleasing to them people. And then they had to do a lot of backtracking. And then from that backtracking, you know, you distance yourself. And then my other thing, too, is where was Jeremiah Wright? I don't know. Was he there? I don't know. Was Reverend Jeremiah Wright there? Maybe he was. I know he's up there in age and things, too. So,
well, the one thing we do know, we saw the big hat gang and the big hair gang right behind them.
Hey, that's right. Hey, one who cares. How you doing? Hope you're doing well. Candy, what's going on? He says, I'm celebrating my 68th born day on Friday. Well, you know what? Happy early 68th birthday, young lady. Yes, indeed. King Noble says, ain't no jumping in the casket and clowning up. I've seen some doozies. I'm like, wow, you mustn't really get along with your mama, huh? I saw the longest aisle cry in history at a funeral. I was sitting way at the back of the church, at the very back, last row, okay? And the casket clears at the front. There's a long aisleway. So I ain't gonna say no names because they might be watching. But anyway, it was their mom. So they get at the casket, and they do that all the way from the casket all the way to the back. It took it like 5 minutes or so to get. I was like, come on, man. Stop it.
Yeah. Real quick, K-Max says Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s children was not there either.
Yeah, that somebody said that. Who the hell is that? Yeah, that I don't know. Like I said, one of them they are Trump supporter, whatever. So who knows why they weren't there? I mean, so listen, I think it's safe to say maybe they just weren't there. We don't know. Like that's what I'm saying. Because we don't see them there, and there's a lot of people there, so who knows, right? Because we don't see them there, that doesn't necessarily mean that there's some friction going on. Maybe they just didn't go. I don't go to everywhere I'm invited to go, you know. And Marguerite, Margaret, I think is how you say, how you doing? He says, why the question about Michelle not being at the funeral? Was Hillary and Jill there? They were. Yeah, they were there. But I think Michelle didn't make it a secret. I ain't trying to hang out with them people, you know. Brother Sam says, could be know something. Grieving kind of off a little bit, and no one is talking about it. So you're talking about Jesse Jackson Jr. grieving. Yeah, I'd imagine so. My aunt, how you doing? Hope that you are well today. Let's see who else showed up. Patty Brown, how you doing? Jay, what's going on? Says, hello, my friend. I saw Jesse Jackson one time in Greenwood, Mississippi. Demetri and Donovan, this is your friend, JX. I met Jesse Jackson. I met Jesse Jackson. Okay. What are you doing? So how was it when you met him? Janelle, what's going on? He says, Junior was very clear about his speaker expectation at his dad's funeral. Yeah, I agree with that. Whatever reason they didn't, maybe it's like, man, F you. We gonna do, I don't know. I don't know what we will, maybe, you know, a lot of people have reached out to Jesse Jackson Jr. to see what that was all about. So maybe he'll say, hey, whatever. Maybe he won't. Again, he is running for office. So I don't know. I just think there's a lot of unanswered questions, you know. Obama's campaign manager at one point in time. I don't know. It's just kind of giving me some weird vibes. Jada says Barack was going to break with Al, you stupid, break out with an Al Green song. Yeah, that they love him for that, right? Brother Sam says I saw it on Roland Martin's YouTube channel and mentioned in the chat that I couldn't wait to. You better stop. I know you got blocked. The Demetri K perspective of it. Mr. KX, how you doing? Says hair and not your beauty. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you. See, now I see it. I don't know what happened yesterday. He says, I love you, good people. Keep up the good work. But we love you too. And thank you so much. Really do love and appreciate you for that. Mo Money, how you doing? Says, oh, well, I love the scarf yesterday. Yeah, Donovan. They love the scarf. You see what you did? You're a bully. That's why women wear wigs and rings.
We have to keep the standards, fellas, and we don't like something, you let them know we don't like it. Take that off your head, woman.
That's okay.
I like the Frederick Douglass look.
Yo, it was Frederick Douglass for real. It was when I was woke up. I don't sleep with no bonnet on. I was a silk pillowcase. I didn't care. I was like, I didn't know what I'm going to do with my hair when I wake up. But this is what I did. I sprayed some water on it and yeah, and here you have it. Tomorrow it'll probably look different and maybe it won't. Sister Cheryl says, I agree with you, Demetri. I really dislike name calling. Yeah, because I think that we're better than that. You know, because we don't get anything done. We calling people names. I don't know. Frank says them saying dissing Jesse was giving Charlie Kirk respect. They got a mural or something like that, or a banner or something, him hanging out at the Department of Education. Okay.
Straight from here, I would say that whether he says Reverend Jeremiah Wright was at the funeral in the front row.
Okay, so yeah, so he was, and I know he's up there in age and he's, you know, got some cognitive things going on, but yeah, Reverend Jeremiah Wright, boy, that's interesting because Obama and Michelle, they have to distance themselves from Jeremiah Wright, you know, from that whole goddamn America. Which it was, if you watch the whole speech, it made sense. But of course, you know, the Republicans ran away with it, and Obama gave that what they call one of his most historic speeches of racism to denounce that of Jeremiah Wright and the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. You know, denounced them all. And it's like, wow, sucker, really? Juana, how you doing? Says I remember when they sent Jesse to get those hostages, they wouldn't release them to any other American. Yep.
Yeah. Do us a favor, you guys, hit that like button. We've got 275 in the chat, only 128 likes. It helps the algorithm and gets Demetri's platform out there a little bit wider so other people can enjoy this conversation.
Well, thank you, Donovan. Yes, I'm Auntie D. I get called a whole lot of stuff. Good things, I will say, very good things. And in a sense, I'm like a mama to a lot of my nieces and nephews. So, Sister Cynthia, how are you doing this fine day? Hero, what's going on with you? Says messy, got messy kids. Yeah. You talking about Jesse? Got Jesse messy kids? You crazy? His ancestors said, "I'm always on the road. It's hard to support often as I like." Well, you be careful out there, but we appreciate it when you do pop in. If you just say hello, you've done too much, and we appreciate you for that. Doug, how you doing? K Mac. Okay, so you read that, but how you doing? Lori, what's going on? Says it's clear they all respected the Reverend. Yeah, I think I got that from when I saw that they respected him. They just didn't respect Jesse Jackson Jr. I mean, what he's saying, and I don't know. I would imagine maybe him and Obama are still cool. He's at his dad's funeral. Again, they were friends to some degree. If you're tapped to be the first Black president of the United States campaign manager during his first, term. So,
Well, maybe he's salty because usually when you're a campaign manager, you get a really good cushy position within the administration. I don't remember Jesse getting any kind of position other than when he ran for Congress on his own. But usually when you're the campaign manager, you do get a cushy position, especially if you win,
Yeah. But when you're stealing almost a milli, can't help you there, homie. But so maybe he's like, Trump is gonna hook me up. I don't know. Zachariah, how you doing? Says Freedmen Americans don't have a dog in this Democratic deceased Jesse Jackson fight. I mean, some do. Some Freedmen actually I love Jesse Jackson, so I don't think we can speak for all. Like I said, I don't have anything ill to say about Jesse Jackson. If I did, I wouldn't say it. I'm just gonna keep it to myself because I think that's the right thing to do. You know what I mean? My aunt, it's your birthday today. Well, happy birthday to you. I made that up right now. But happy birthday. Shut up, Donovan. I'm tired of you. I'm a little bit loopy too. I see that's why I'll take naps because I be having too much energy. Oh, wait a minute. So I took a nap. And then I was listening to Trump, and so my daughter woke me up because she says, my sister wanted me to call her. So then I was trying to fall back to sleep, and then I saw that Trump was going to speak. When I tell you he got on there, he probably spoke for 3 minutes, and I was because it was just like we're the hottest country. Even Saudi Arabia, this says we're the hottest country, and I know we did the soldiers came home as a beautiful ceremony, but it was sad, but even the family said, you finished the job, you go win. And I'm like, I know damn well them dead people, parents didn't say that to you. Quit lying. Anyway, so yeah, he put me to sleep. So I was like, I might have to start listening to Trump more often when I'm trying to go to sleep, but then I don't want to have nightmares. Brother Brady says I already answered that question. Yes, Hillary and yes, they were there. Scoop, thank you so much. Love and appreciate you for that. Says reminds me of being in church all day long, everybody long with it and pop in the head. Every time I fell asleep, it was boring. Yeah, that's how people gonna get. My thing is, and this is why they do the denouncers the way they do. You ain't finna get up here and talk about way back when, and you should have said all that when they was here. That's how you honor people. You honor them before they go. Because they can't hear you. Oh, they're gonna say, "Oh, yeah, I remember that. Yeah, I remember that time." No, you should have said all that when they was here. Getting up that's not that. You bloviating on the mic at the funeral. That ain't for them. That's for you. That's this is all about me. Like, shut you up.
And that's exactly what they did. They made it about them, the Democratic Party. And, and I really thought it was very disrespectful for you got the man stretched out in the coffin there and you're making it about you. The man is stretched out in the coffin. Let's, give him his flowers that he can enjoy and, move on. But, the guy's body is allegedly right there. And you're doing all this hoopla trying to get political points. I thought it was just very disrespectful.
Yeah, and it's also disrespectful when the side piece come up to the funeral talking about, I've been with him just as long as you.
No, or the side piece that comes in there and was twerking on the casket.
Right. Or the baby mama, I know you're going to share that life insurance policy with me because we got kids together. So I'm just saying, like, yeah, it'd be a lot going on up in, some of these funerals. For real, I've been to some doozies. It's like, damn, y'all gonna do all that in the Lord's house? Okay. T-Bish, you crazy. Talking about, I wonder if his extra daughters, I'm sure she was there. It sounds like she's been welcomed into the fold and all of that. Hell, that was what, 30, damn near 40 years ago?
That ain't her fault. See, I think it's ridiculous when they try to punish the kids for something they had nothing to do with. I don't know Beyonce's situation, whatever, but she's got 2 brothers and sisters from her dad, whatever the deal is, and allegedly she doesn't. Well, we don't know that for a fact, but I'm just going to say allegedly she doesn't have anything to do with those children or something. I don't know. It's kind of stupid.
Hey there, long time no see. Hope you're doing well. He says Reverend Jeremiah Wright was at the funeral front row. Okay, because I saw a picture of him, but I didn't know if he was there. But I'm glad that he was there. I also know that Father Flager was there. I don't know if he spoke, but he was there. So yes. Let's see. Quan says also, it also reminds me of what they do at Mother Emanuel AME Church with the Ralph Warnock letting Joe Biden get in the pulpit as Dr. MLK Jr. would have without us getting tangibles and, gotcha, in policy for FBA. So he basically said Martin Luther King Jr. was trying to get us our check and, they just letting people all over the pulpit. Yes, indeed. So happy birthday to everybody that's celebrating my aunt. Forget the other person. I'm getting old. Ricky, how you doing? Says I'm not in agreement with the Democrats, but I really expected them to carry it a little better, especially Obama. I was really disappointed in them. And the kicker part is that Trump and Jesse were good friends back in the day. So yeah, maybe that's too why Jesse Jackson Jr. was like, listen, I'm trying to get in like Flynn, and y'all ruining my opportunity to do that because my daddy and Trump are friends. That's kind of what I think. Reggie, what's going on with you? Says, like Michelle Robinson Obama, I wouldn't have gone if I was going to be snapped on like that. All due respect and bereavement condolences to the Davis, Brown, Burns, Robinson, Jackson family, Chicago, Waukegan. I think that's what you're trying to say, Waukee. Yeah, I mean, I'm not mad at me. I don't know what Michelle's reasons. I can't. Michelle is our only human being. Like, people always trying to tell other people what to do. Can't even tell most people can't tell their hard-headed ass wife what to do, let alone Michelle Obama what to do, or anybody what to do. Michelle, is there a reason that it's like you forced to go to funerals? You follow the Bible says what? Let the dead bury the dead. You got to get on with the living type stuff. So I don't know. We don't know. Maybe Michelle was painting her toenails that day and they didn't dry fast enough. Lily, how you doing? Says Reverend Jesse Jackson talking about attendees registering to vote and getting out to vote at Aretha Franklin's funeral. Isn't that the same? Well, maybe the request was different, so it just depends. I don't know. First class citizen, how you doing? Constance, how are you? Tara, what's going on with you? Hope you're doing well. M. Dane, what's going on? It says the cushion was that Congress seat that he got beggars. He says can be choosers. He had to take what he could get. Okay. Brother Sam says Obama had to take the Farrakhan and Jeremiah Wright litmus test and had to distance himself, much like Mr. Jackson had to take the Farrakhan litmus test. The minister yet loves his brothers. Yeah, there you go. The minister is not, he don't have any ill will in his heart because anybody understands how the game works is him, right? So absolutely. Somebody else too. Let's see. Just that fast, I forgot what I was going to say. I'm sure to come back to me. Sister Cheryl said, I find myself a little cognitive problem myself. I think it's due to age. Yeah, just sometimes I'll be like, yeah. Al Chid says, the Oompa Loompa and cheat. What are you talking about? Sister Cynthia says, the disrespectful behavior and mannerisms from the dirty Democrats was disturbing, disgusting, and very distasteful. Yeah, I think all politicians are disgusting and distasteful. I listened to Trump the time that I woke up. I woke up and forgot the man was even talking. And I listened to it. They were just, and he's at some, I don't know, the party or something somewhere at one of his estates. And so he's got the Republicans, they're convening over there at this whatever event that he's having. It's like, dude, the Middle East is on fire. It's on fire, okay? Due to what the United States and Israel have done, and y'all at a getaway? Like, huh? What are we doing here? So I find it all to be distasteful, you know.
Well, I'm going to say this, like I've said before. When somebody shows you who they are, believe them the first time. The Democratic Party is showing you who they are. I mean, how many times do they have to tell you they don't give a damn about you? Black folks are the least of their worries. I mean, this is what the Democratic Party is about ever since their inception. White supremacy. Once they're done with their tools, they break them. Jesse was a hardcore Democrat for a lot of years. A lot of years he carried the weight of the Democratic Party, and this is how they're going to do him as the man is laid out in his casket. Total disrespect. They have no respect for Black people, in my opinion.
I don't think Jesse Jackson gonna complain. Hey, African Native, how you doing? It says tips, write down your funeral speech, review it numerous times, correct it because it's a farewell speech. I totally agree with you. At least speak extemporaneously, right? That's what I do. Each and every time I come on here, I speak extemporaneously because I'm not, but sometimes I read verbatim, but most of the time it's talking points and things that jog my memory because sometimes, yeah, you be forgetting. Ethan, what? Don't make me block you. What is you doing? David, how you doing? Says Jesse Jackson Jr. may have stolen almost $1 million, but what other white politicians have stolen millions of dollars that didn't go to jail? That's the Democratic Party liberals. Yeah, but listen, one thing we're going to know as a Negro in this country, you cannot do what white folks do and get away with. You just can't. Your daddy is Jesse Jackson Jr. He ain't told you that. He hasn't told you, listen, boy, you can't do what they do and get away with it. I mean, you know what I'm saying? So I'm not saying it's right, you know, but you steal $1 million in campaign funds and like what? Yes, they're going to punish you harshly because you Black. The system was not meant for you because you're Black. It was meant for white folks because they white. I don't know. Okay, let's see. Just another one. How you doing? Says I agree. Thought it was very disrespectful. Let's see who else came on here. Kimberly, how you doing? So laugh out loud. Now, I'm just saying, you know, to be side pieces. I just want to know, okay, where do I fit in? Because I had a baby by him, okay, and I know he left you good. I think Junior should be getting some of that, okay. And then shortly after that, they get to roll around, the casket fall over, and all kind of stuff. So yeah, I mean, funerals is where the foolishness be at, you know. And I would say, just a side note, side pieces, baby mamas. If you messing with a dude, got a baby by him, you not married, get a life insurance policy. It's not his mama's responsibility. Okay. I used to be a life insurance agent. I'm not a life insurance agent anymore. And I cannot tell you the times that people be talking about what his mama should share with me. Oh, ma'am, you're not a beneficiary on this policy. So ain't nobody gonna make his mama listen. If you laid up with the dude, you should have protected his life. Okay. So you can't make his mama do anything for you. Now, if she want to give you a piece of cake, she could do that. If she doesn't want to share the life insurance policy with you, she doesn't have to do that. But the moral of the story is, I was gonna say something nasty, but I'm not. You get to insure your baby daddy. You insure your baby daddy, okay?
It's just so crazy that when that loved one is gone, all the secrets come out. See, back in the day, women and people, they took everything to the grave with them. You can't. It's like they don't do that anymore. It's like, I understand you got some dirtbag dudes out there that don't handle their business and don't take care of the side piece. But dog, lady, if you're gonna show up at the funeral, could you at least be dressed like you're coming there to, like a guest? But no, they come there with the house shoes on, the slippers. I've seen videos like that, and it's just like, then they're twerking on the dead man, the old dead man's casket. It's just sad.
Right. That's why I said it's a you thing. It's not a them thing. I'm gonna be the star, the main character of this funeral. Damn the person laying there. I'ma steal the show. Okay, you're gonna get beat up. Keep on. Walton says they didn't even give him respect and let him lay in state at the Capitol. Says he has brought hostages home and negotiated the USA out of a lot of difficult situations. Yeah, they should have, or whatever it is, but race is gonna do what race is gonna do, right? Trump has got to appease his base, and he can't let no Negro land state. He's got to go and continue to perpetrate, or maybe they're not perpetrating racism. But they got Charlie Kirk. It's gonna be spicy. They got him in his building, his picture off the side of the building at the Department of Education. I got two mics, right? One right here and one right here. Sean says, I'm sure Biden talked to Jesse Jackson this morning. Is Biden still with us? Has he gone up to glory? Like, what do you mean he talked to him? You mean Jesse Jackson Jr.?
I think he means with Biden's dementia, like he was doing as president, talking to the ghosts and stuff, shaking hands with people that aren't there.
I do that all the time. Believe it or not, I be having some good conversation. Jerry, how you doing? So Jesse Jr. Was trying to bury his daddy. That's all. Yeah, I get it. I mean, yeah. Reggie says, since her mother passed, Miss Robinson, a possible relative of Jesse Burns Robinson Jackson, original father and great specimen at that. Those his great grandseeds, Michelle, been different. Says possibly they didn't reach out to her when she went to the other side. But says I was talking about the orange one. Okay, I was in. Okay. Ward, how you doing? Says many of or most of the Democrats were friends with President Trump, especially when they accepted his money for their campaigns. Bill and Hillary were at his Melania's wedding and urged him to run for president. They were at each other's weddings and things. I'm sure they'd be at each other's funerals. Let's see. Just another woman says they don't respect our people, but they will. That's a guarantee. You better tell them again. Al says Donovan was Dak wrong for breaking up with his fiance before the April wedding because she didn't want to sign a prenup.
Not at all. He already got 2 children out of her. Ladies, let this be a lesson to you. Why should we buy the cow if the milk is free? You gave the man 2 children. He has no obligation to marry you because she didn't make that a priority. So no, I don't think he was wrong at all. Well, why should he sign up for that so she can take half of his fortune? Absolutely not.
Hey, Channy, long time no see. He says, my pastor was there and he had us laughing saying that man had 22 funerals. What Aretha had 99 and she changed clothes at every funeral. I was like, boy, that's diva behavior right there, right? Patricia, how you doing? Says all the presidents gave sincere eulogies and all 3 personally knew him. Why wasn't the son grateful? I guess maybe because he told them not to do it, make it political. I listened to, like I said, Obama's Al Sharpton, and I think, I think they were respectful, maybe bringing in politics. Obama didn't say it wasn't. I think it just the beginning he said something or whatever. But I think Junior's critique was more or less that didn't know his dad. I think that's what their rebuke was about. So yeah,
he was saying basically these people don't know my father.
Right.
Well, it's like anything in politics. It's just like these stars and stuff. Cardi B endorsed Jasmine Crockett. They really don't know each other. They probably are their acquaintances, but they don't really know each other. And that's what I think Junior was basically saying. You don't know my father. You just worked with him.
Why you let them get in the pulpit? You know what I'm saying? So that's why I said I think something is off here. Because why if you I don't know. Some to me, and some of the milk ain't clean. And I would love a cup of milk right now. I've been fasting all day, but some of the milk ain't clean. Okay, because why would you invite them up there to speak, but then get up and say you don't know my father? Some is off here.
Well, think about it from a business aspect. If the African Diaspora News Channel could interview a president, let's just say, and it's going to happen one day, whatever, how much shine is the African Diaspora News Channel going to get? It's all about business movement. You don't know this person, but you're going to let him speak because it highlights your brand.
What? Your daddy dead brand? Like, what was the brand? You know what I mean?
Well, for whatever, maybe down the road or whatever, but you're putting in political points for a favor. Hopefully one day you won't have to ask me one day for a favor. But the good thing you know Sicilian legacy that on a funeral day I cannot deny a request.
So if they put in political favors, wouldn't that make it political? I don't know. Don't let me take naps throughout the day because my brain be opening up other little parts that be, Ricky, sure can't do what they do and get away with it. Come on now, Diddy, come on now. Was a whole multi-billionaire, and they rushed him to prison in a dog sled. They got an entire group of white politicians calling the Epstein files, and they're holding friendly depositions, smiling. And to that, Ricky, the white women is like, I don't know what you're talking about. You know, your Pam Bondies, and they blocking and protecting. I always tell my daughter all the time, I said, a lot of this foolishness you see going on in the United States, white women be right with them lockstep. Every step of the way. They'll complain, oh, they're telling us what to do with our bodies. But then you go along and vote right with it and then complain the whole time, you know, like feminism. Oh, I'm going to find myself. And then you found yourself in the kitchen making a nasty casserole for Bob, and then you was right. You know what I'm saying? So, I don't know. That guy from Texas, how are you doing today? Hope that you're doing well. Let's see who else is on here. I see that we overtime.
But it also goes to show you the white women are in it because it's a partnership or a business. They run their marriages like a business. Hillary stayed with that man, even though he got caught with his wood out in somebody else's throat. And she stayed with that man to become a senator and a secretary of state and whatever. And by protocol, they are still sitting there, regardless of, you know, one guy having dementia, severe dementia, and the other guy's still there. They stay together to fleece and make sure everything is good. Chelsea is good. Chelsea's a multimillionaire. You know, they stay together. It's a business.
I have a problem with that down her throat comment you made.
Would you like me to say the cigar that ended up down her woo-ah? Just saying. This is all public record.
Anyway, Dave, it says Democrats pay for the security of the funeral actions. Well, that day sounds political to me. If that's true, right? Sounds political, but I don't know. We can't think, you guys. Don't think. Just go along with it. Lawrence, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. The guy from Texas said, I had no relations with that woman. Define relations, sir. Define relations.
Wait. Let's talk about currently. Donald Trump was convicted of sexual assault. Melania is still with him. They don't leave. But let an allegation that I went to the nasty kitty, my woman ready to go out the damn door. Take everything from me.
Baby, the way we gonna clear the kitchen with every pot and make sure they connect with your head, homie. Okay, what you mean you spending this good rent money at the nasty kitty? See, yeah, but Barack already knew. Get funky and funny if you want to. Yeah, I'm gonna be standing up at the podium with you, but you're gonna be having all kind of knots, bumps, bruises. You're gonna be all kind of MFs and your mama too. Okay, do it if you want to, right? So yeah, I don't know. I guess maybe they seen the long game, right? My thing is this. I asked my daughter this earlier. I'll be on her nerves. I said, I understand why rich men cheat, but why do broke men cheat? And why do women cheat with broke men? Because I get why women cheat with rich men, but why do they cheat with broke men?
Low self-esteem. Low self-esteem. That's the only way I can explain it. They must have low self-esteem, low expectation.
Yeah. But yeah, the white women, they be up there because they like, I know you're getting a little bit on the side. It's the same ideology I would think back in the slave plantation. They knew the massa was running up in the slave shack, you know, because the wives more or less like some men. Listen, I worked at Frito-Lay for a very long time, right? It was to me like a university because I was a young woman, kind of green to a lot of things, and you know, I worked around a lot of men, and they would tell me things. Some of them used to be pimps and all that kind of stuff. So I learned a lot of things. And one dude, like they be cheating up in there. And the word would come back like, you did that to that lady? That lady don't even look like she allowed nobody to put that there type stuff. I'm like, why y'all? And I'm green. And I'm like, why don't you just go home to your wife? Because they married, right? They said, the dude, I ain't gonna say his name, says, D, some people don't want to do all that to their wives because they respect their wives. I'm like, because he said that we feel like we're defiling our wives. I'm like, so you do that to them?
There's a perversion of men. It's just something that's ingrained in us. We're ingrained to have, as much sex as we can with as many women as we can, even though, we find this woman that we love. And I ain't speaking for all men. I'm just saying in general, even though we find the woman we love or whatever deal is, that's our woman, the one that we love. But when that temptation is put out there, that's why I believe there's no sisterhood, because men can't cheat if women don't say, no, you know what I mean? So
what about when men cheat with other men?
Same scenario. Yeah. Same scenario. Same scenario.
I mean, I don't know. I think if you both cheating, I mean, people cheat, just cheat, whatever. You cheating. I just be wanting to know why broke men cheat, and why the women be cheating with them. I just be having questions.
Good game. They got good game. They got good conversation, and like Ray and Pookie, some women say the dusty dudes have the best wood.
Brother Salmon says, could it be traditionally we marry for love and others marry for business? That's true. Yeah, it's a business. Yes, we're not. Brad, I know you did that, but I will not leave you. Right? Because she like, listen, we rich. Why you think I'm in she be like, why you think I'm in charge of hiring the pool boy? Would you think he'd be over here? He got to clean the pool every day? You think we don't even swim every day? So yeah. King Open says, Demetra, everyone gets lonely at times. You get lonely. Yeah, but I'm just saying, like, I get why rich men cheat and why women cheat with rich men, but I've heard some broke, dusty cheating stories before. I have, and I'm like, so you just let them bring over $5 Little Caesar pizza and 2 minutes of fun, and that's it, man. Because, like, what happened to the days of the kept woman? When the dude kept the lights on, kept the mortgage paid, kept the car note paid, kept the refrigerator full. See what I'm saying? Dudes now want to come up with a bucket of chicken and be like, was it good for you?
Well, look, that is because you women want them feminists out there talk about equal. Now we're letting you be equal. I'm bringing what I bring to the table, and you bring what you bring to the table, and let's make it happen.
For the record, I ain't never been no side piece. I know plenty of people who have been on. I'm like, you let that sucker come over there and do all of that for that? Why? And then his wife getting all her bills paid, and you going to 13 jobs and letting old boy bring over the Popeyes 2 for 1.
Right. Or the old Pioneers chicken. Hey, Jin Mum 8247 says, Donovan said that black hostages are worthless. I think he meant to say priceless. No, I meant to say worthless. Unless you are Barack Obama's child, unless you are somebody black and famous's child, black hostages have no value. That was told to me in my face when I went through SEER school. If I got shot down in a plane, the white Richie Cunningham guys would be held hostage. I would be shot right there on the spot because I have no value as a hostage.
I mean, I got what you were saying. Yeah. I mean, I think that's probably true, because they know the United States is going to be like, well.
And it's very true because there was a Navy commander that was shot down in Syria. Ronald Reagan refused to negotiate for that man, even when they threatened to put that man to death. It was Jesse Jackson that went over there to get him and brought him back.
Oh, Kevin Samuels. Yeah. Says he said women cheat, men exercise options.
Yeah. And you guys keep forgetting, black men don't cheat, ever.
Put the comma in there. Put the comma. Black men don't cheat. Okay? Don't forget the comma. Women cheat, men exercise. It's all cheating. Honestly, it's all the same. you know, because there's women who exercise options, and then when women be out there exercising options, dudes be falling out. Oh, why? Why you doing that to me? Because you did it to me. Okay. One good screw, and I'm talking about, you know, the screwdriver deserves another. I don't think like that, but I know people who do. Doug says, I remember seeing a guy in rallies who didn't want to spend the full $1.19 for a burger, had a wad of cash, then decided to hit on a woman there and actually walk away with her. Now, but we need to be educating these women. Man, at least if he was paying $5.99 for the meal, then I can understand. But $1.19.
See, brothers, look, y'all got to stop doing that. At least supersize the meal for her. If you're gonna take her out, supersize. At least do that. Yeah. But but you know what though? With the prices now, have you guys seen what a Happy Meal costs? It's almost $20.
I wish I would. $20.
Almost $20 for and this is why I don't understand why women keep saying they don't go to McDonald's. It's expensive to go eat at McDonald's.
Yeah. I haven't eaten there in years. I take your word for it, but $20 for some plastic and pink slime, allegedly. Ma says people don't have any loyalty in a relationship. No, they don't. You know, I talk to my daughter about this often. I'm like, man, to bring back that 90s, that 80s love, you just step outside, right? You'd be like, oh, you single? I'm single. Yes, we're single. Let's go, right? And then now it's just different. It seems different. It does. Sad, actually. That guy from Texas says, I'm not saying I agree. Okay. Just another one says, really good black women don't cheat either. Yeah, the black women don't cheat. We're saints. Brother Sam says, actually, Jesse got him back with the help of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. See, they don't tell that side of the story, right? But that is true. Pamela, how you doing? Says, yes, they do. Black men cheat. Okay.
Yeah. You know, the funny thing about that Louis Farrakhan that they don't say about that, remember, Jesse went to Syria and Americans were forbidden to go to Syria, but it was because of the relations of Islam from the minister to the Syrian guy. I forgot his name right now, but his son just got ousted a couple years ago. But Assad, that's what it was. Assad, that's what allowed Jesse to get that person out of there. McNair, I think it was a pilot named McNair or something like that.
Nice of the Sword. How you doing? Says them rallies, fries over at Ashwan Villa in Opalaka back in the day, the late 80s, early 90s. It was good. I don't even know if I've ever eaten at rallies. I might have. I don't recall, but I take your word for it. Shirley says, I don't eat any fast food restaurants, period. Yeah, and not really good for you. You know, right now I eat a horse at this moment. Let's see how much longer I got. I got an hour. I'll be all right, though. I'll be more thirsty than anything. Donovan ain't giving up no game. Donovan ain't got no game. Yes, Mike, we saints. Black women are saints. My goodness. We don't be causing no trouble. We just be minding our business.
Yeah, that's why 1/3 of all births in the United States, the father is not the father.
Y'all just don't be wanting to lay claim to it. That's all. They need to go back to the day where they didn't do DNA testing. You just took our words for it because our mouth is a prayer book, right? I said you the daddy. I said you're the father. What else do you need to know? You are the father. See, Maury came and messed up.
Why is this child Asian?
Because, you know, the mother civilization was a black woman. And so the mother civilization, she produced all these people. And it is just a gene that came out. I mean, but you are the daddy. Shut up. Okay. Brother Don says feminism and integration was created to destroy our people first. Then the sour cream folks is crazy. But of course, she says it's not cheating if you don't get caught. I agree with that. But you will get caught. Okay. You will get caught. Even if it's at the funeral, your side piece show up talking about you gonna give me some of that life insurance money. Okay. Then I'm gonna dig you up and
or better yet, if you guys got loved ones that are joining the military or in the military and they are in love, make sure they know if they make the military a career and do 20 years and their first wife lasted 6 years, that's 30% of his retirement pay for the rest of their life. And if you make 10 years with them, that's 50% for the rest of their life. And the women are not incentivized to remarry. So Think about
All I got to do is just do 6 years. That's all I do.
Yeah, if you're 6 years married, you get 30% of the man's retirement. But he has to be actively in the military. He can't be a retiree.
So I mean, I gotta give me a YN, huh? Ricardo says, my wife, come on now. My wife used to say she didn't care where I worked up my appetite. Just make sure I eat at home. But see, the problem is nowadays people want to be at the Golden Corral. They want all you can eat, you know, but she telling it right. African Native says, I think late Ali went to Iraq for Americans' liberation, if I'm not wrong, during the Kuwait-Iraq war.
Yeah, Ali during Desert Storm, Desert Shield, actually. He went to free all those European prisoners Saddam had as hostages.
I see. So anyway, Donovan and I made a pact that we was going to get out of here, and Donovan be lying. So he to change the subject. Somebody change the subject. Let's see. Ricardo says, I'm the daddy. I look like what? Y'all fed Kodo, and the baby looks like Blake Griffin. You better stop it. Y'all the daddy. Just come on, complain. You the daddy, okay? Just take my word for it. Take my word for it. Ain't nobody else but you. Hey, Vanessa, how you doing? The guy from Texas says, doesn't each military stripe represent 3 years of service?
No, the military stripe has nothing to do with your time in service. You could be E5, right? I knew E5s that were in rank 15 years. That was the old military when they stayed in rank for 15 years. So stripes have nothing to do with your time in service.
Tell me something, because I've been in the service a long time myself. Albert Chill says, my girl knows she got a 6'3" player. She know you out there in them streets. Better hope she don't watch this show. I'm gonna tell her. Tell on you. I'm just playing. Let's see. M. Dot says, they be at the buffet. All you can eat. And eating everything.
Did you guys see those videos of these like big women that were when they were cutting the food stand? They're talking about, I'm gonna starve to death.
AI. That was AI. I hate AI. That was AI. And even like Fox News and it was posting the AI and stuff. It's like, are you for real?
These big women talking about they're going to starve to death. And the guy said, why don't you get a job? And she said, that's not it.
I hate AI. I really do. I really do. Even Fox News, I don't know, depending on who you ask.
She said, that's not the point.
Stupid. Yeah, you just take this lady's word for it. They make these women honest women and just say you the daddy. Sign on the dotted line. D-Mac says, women know when you're creeping. Trust me, they just tolerate it until someone better else comes along. Yeah. In a sense, that's true. Or some women just tap out like, nah, sucker, get old girl to do it. Right? And then they be like, wanting to come back and all this other stuff. Like, you've been having your thing-a-ling at the hometown buffet or the Golden Corral. Everybody can have some. I'm good, okay? I want a meal exclusively for me. I don't want some everybody else been picking over. Zenobia says, I stayed getting Article 15s in the military. As soon as I got ranked, they took it back. You talking over my head. I think I was... I got a couple of Article 15s too.
Article 15 is a disciplinary setting.
I did. I got a whole lot of those.
Oh, that's right. They had to kick you out of the barracks. You wouldn't leave. You and your girls wouldn't leave.
Oh, like we got to spend in the night bag. I'm telling you, Donovan, I hate that these young girls don't go to the base, boy. Whoa.
But the base isn't the same. When we went, these kids are so antisocial that these little young troops rather stay and play video games all day than go out and socialize.
A time was had on these bases. I promise you, a time was had. It was a good, wholesome time. Not a whole.
Think about it. Look, either you went dancing and hung out at the club, or you went bowling, or you went to the base theater.
Donovan, I'm gonna tell you, they had to run us off the base. They was like, somebody about to get court-martialed around here. You get your asses off of this base. That's okay. We'll be back next weekend. And we gonna do it again. Sure enough, boy. I just put me in a time machine, Donovan. Put me in a time machine so it could spin around and I could be back on one of them. Just any one. Let me see what base did I have the most fun at?
Probably March.
Yeah, it was closer. It was right up the street, right? Get the girls and we just go right up the street to March. Norton wasn't that far.
Del Mar at Pendleton. Yep.
Man, Pendleton. I would say I had a good time on 29 Palms. Then I had a good time on Pendleton in that order. And then that other one, Fort Irwin, that was way out in the sticks. Man, I've been to them all. Yes, a time was had. I might just go back there just for old time's sake. So y'all remember me.
If you guys ever go to 29 Palms, they got a plaque of Demetra right on the gate as you walk through the gate. You come through the gate. Saying, what's the saying, Demetra? Some gave some and some gave all.
And some didn't give. Okay? I was there to dance.
Yes, the horizontal mambo, that was a very popular dance.
I'm a lady, and I was a lady back then, okay? Don't believe the stories. They're liars. Thank God that was all before the internet. I tell you that, boy. Woo! Thank God before camera phones. You know, they had to. My baby daddy, he had one of them, right? I'd be like, that wasn't me. How you know that was me? It was too dark. You can't tell that was me. Anyway. I don't care. I was 19. Shoot.
Yes, and the best part of the all-night discos is everybody would go to the Denny's or the IHOP afterwards and eat. Man, and you would see the same faces you saw at the club most of the night at the Denny's.
Hold on, okay? It was, where did we go after the Metro? Denny's was one of them. But right across the street, there was a Baker's. So after the club closed, Baker's was open, I think, all night. We go over there and then we go home. Because it was after hours, we went home. We didn't go back to the motels where the soldiers were staying. We went home because we was ladies, okay? Your mom was like, you don't be coming in my door this late.
Well, I used to go to the Metro and I used to see a bunch of legs coming out of cars.
You didn't see my legs coming out of cars because I had my own car, okay? And was nobody getting in the backseat of my car. I'm just saying. Yes, a time was had. D-Max says, I do be reminiscing. Sometimes I shed a tear. I shed a tear sometimes thinking of the good times that I had. It was, man, I tell you, boy, it was no time like it. If I had an opportunity just to drink some potion and just go back there, I would be like, bye, see you suckers.
See, and the good thing about that too is if something did happen to you ladies and a oops happened or, you know, something happened, you had guys that had benefits to help take care of the baby. You know, now you see these girls getting with the poo-poos and the knick-knack that have nothing, and they put themselves in a worse position. I mean, when I became an officer, I used to get so many damn calls of the girls talk about, I'm so-and-so's baby mama, and he don't want to give me no benefits. I'm like, oh, Lord, here we go. Call the airman in, sit down and talk with him. Oh, my gosh, and tell him what he's going to do. Ah, man.
Donovan, how they didn't know I was in the military? How they didn't know? I got bars and stars, too.
And the real fellas knew, do not mess with women in the military because they know your pay system, or the girls that were regulars on the base because they knew the pay system too.
I knew them ladies too. There was some older ladies, boy. They was old. They was rolled hard and put away wet. They was like, okay, we up at the club, but we looking for the officers. You know, they got the benefits. I was like, what? I was just there to. You know, but they was there like, okay, we done got a couple of babies. We need to get with somebody, one of the big hats, right? With
the senior NCOs, those guys.
Yeah, you know, I don't know how it worked out for those ladies. I was just kind of green on the scene. hopefully they, they hooked up and they married up. That was, everybody's kind of like really of the officer and a gentleman type of thing. But I was just there, just dancing. Really, I was. Anyway, Donovan, let's get out of here if I get in trouble. If I tell all the secrets. Now,
wait a minute. Wait. I want you guys, before we get out of here, I want you guys to actually think about this. If she was up there just dancing, why is she caravanning with a bunch of girls in the cars?
I was helping the troops. I was doing my civic duty. Okay. I was bringing a little fun to the guys.
There'd be like 5 chicks coming out of the car into the club.
Smelling good and looking good. And not looking for wood. Okay. I wasn't anyway, right? I made a guy and said too much. But yeah, ladies, if you're young enough, go to the base and have fun. Those fellas, they just be looking to have a good time. They may go off to war, you never see them again and all of that. So you just have a good time. That's all it was a good time. That's some great memories. Great memories. I'll tell you that.
And if anything happens, your child has got some great benefits. Great benefits. Even if they don't do a career, you still got those VA benefits that your child is entitled to.
Listen, LGS, I was helping, and I can't give you the game like that, but I was bringing smiles to the fellas' faces, right? You know how it is. You got some homegirls. Yeah, I got a whole lot of them. We load up my 79 Mustang with the hatchback. Boy, I'm telling y'all, we can't wait to get up there, right? We get up there. And we get sponsored on the base. Who you here to see? Whoop-de-whoop-whoop. He sponsored us on. We get up in there and we spread out, right? And there might have been a dance or something. We be up on the dance, but then we be running through the barracks. Hey, how y'all doing? What's going on? Oh, we cute, woo, or whatever, right? So I was bringing joy. I was bringing joy to the boys. Yes, I was. Yes, it was community work. Ricardo, yes, I was in a USO, not US Ho. Okay, let's not mince words. Let's get out of here before I get in trouble. So I will be back on here tomorrow, 5 p.m. Central Time. Maybe I have a little bit more sense. And then I'll definitely be on the African Diaspora News Channel at 11 a.m. Central Time to have a great conversation with y'all. So in the meantime, y'all have a great rest of your evening. Right now, what's going on? So Demetria, thank goodness you and Donovan speak with common sense. Folks like Karen Hunter and New Possibilities are just straight vote blue no matter who. Yeah, she should have went to the bases and maybe she wouldn't be so uptight. Anyway, love y'all. Peace.